Hello everybody and welcome to Patrick LPs. I'm Patrick, your host, and this is Warwick. Here he is, sitting on a rock. And just this first video will just be an explanation of sort of what this playthrough is going to be like, what it entails, the mods I've included, all that good stuff. So, this is a role-playing playthrough. I will be playing as Warwick. I will always be in first person, unless I'm just getting like an opening shot or something like that before I actually start playing. Just to remind everybody what he looks like, because the majority of it will be first person, speaking as Warwick, being Warwick, everything Warwick. So that's what this is, role-playing. Just a little information about who he is. He's an Imperial from Cyrodiil, who has made his way to Skyrim in the hopes of becoming a master thief. Now, I will be showing this to my Besom friends first. If anybody else watches this, I will be surprised. But they have already been introduced to Warwick from our game, but this is a little different since it is Skyrim, and so I had to tweak some things about his character to make it work in this world, in the world of the Elder Scrolls. So, this Warwick is a little selfish. He doesn't really do anything unless it benefits him, and that benefit may be as small as whatever he needs at the time. So if he is hungry and needs food, he will do something in order to get that food. If he needs money, he will do something in order to get money. But for the most part, if he has those things in well supply, then he will not take up anything that doesn't immediately benefit him. If he owes someone a favor, then he will repay that favor, but besides that, he's on his own. He won't really be having any followers unless something changes in character development or something. I don't know. This is where we start. He's been traveling alone all across Tamriel, just trying to find a name for himself, and he finds himself in Skyrim as it is on the brink of a civil war. But he isn't really interested, even though he is an Imperial, in helping the Imperials win. Again, he's on his own, everything for himself. But he sees the Civil War as an opportunity to make a name for himself, not within the ranks of the army, but as a master thief, because as everybody else is distracted with the war, he hopes to be under the radar at least a little bit as he begins. So, he's been wandering Skyrim for a little while now, and so he is going to start his quest, I suppose you can say, to become a thief. Just a little bit about what he can do as far as skills. No magic abilities. He can defend himself with daggers. He has some throwing daggers. Archery isn't really his deal, though he obviously, like most normal people, can use a crossbow fine, but a typical bow and arrow he doesn't have much practice at. Light armor. Sneaking isn't the best. He's just starting on his quest to be a thief. I mean, he hasn't done much besides maybe as he's traveling the lands, staying out of sight either from people or bandits or animals. But besides that, not much. He has practiced some lockpicking. When he first started to think maybe he would want to become a thief, he knew that he would have to pickpocket and lockpick. So he has some practice, but not much. And that sort of helps along with his stealth stat as well. So yeah, I mean that's basically who he is. We are just outside of Riverrun, as you see, and where we will meet Warwick in the first part is he is going to try and steal this golden claw that this shopkeeper keeps going on and on about. So I did do that quest just to obtain the golden claw and put it back in the shop, but it only leveled me up once and I didn't take any perk. So yeah, I'm basically level 1 starting off. Just quickly going over some mods. First I want to say some mods that aren't included that one might expect to be included are Frostfall and Realistic Needs and Diseases. If you don't know what those are, Frostfall basically adds the weather is an enemy and it can kill you if you are exposed to the bitter cold or get wet, yada yada yada. You need to, the mod includes being able to set up a tent in the wilderness, and you have to collect firewood and make a campfire to stay warm, and your clothes actually add exposure ratings and that sort of thing. I'm not using that, and Realistic Needs and Diseases basically sounds just like what it is. You need to sleep, you need to eat, you need to drink, and diseases are a little bit more fleshed out than what they are in vanilla. The reason why I'm not including these from a role-playing perspective is because I think, in my opinion, they take more away from the storytelling experience than what they add to it. As a player who is playing this character, I don't want to, as I'm telling a story or going through a story of a character, I don't want to have to worry about that, and as I'm walking along the path, realize I'm cold and have to make a campfire. I don't know. I just feel like it takes away. That might change. I might start using it, but for now, I'm not going to. I will be playing as if I'm using those mods, but not as intense. So, as I don't have to worry about dying from starvation or from exposure or something like that. But obviously, if I'm walking along the roads and it begins to get dark, then I will set quote unquote set up camp, as in I will fade out and then fade back in the morning as if I took camp. And I will also be eating if I come into an inn, and I will stay there for a night or maybe even a couple nights, quote unquote, and that will be reflected in my inventory. So I will be carrying around food and stuff like that, and I will be eating it either on or off camera, and I will be actually consuming those things. But as far as the actual mods, I feel like they take away. So those are two mods that aren't included that you might think. As far as other mods that are included, there's a lot of texture stuff. I'm using it in ENB. I have a couple thieving overhauls and mods that just add a little bit more than the vanilla thieving. Things like, I forget his name, but there's a thievery overhaul made by this one guy that adds a little bit more options when you enter a hold. That enables you to get on the roof and stuff like that. You will see as we go along. And let's see what else. One of the bigger ones is Death Alternative. So what this gameplay will be is once I die, I am dead. The gameplay is over. But I have this mod called Death Alternative, which means when my health bar reaches 0, I am then put in a bleed out state. Once that bleed out state goes 0, I am then knocked unconscious, and I will wake up in a different location depending on the sort of scenario I was knocked unconscious in. And then in that sort of just recovery state from being knocked unconscious, if that bar goes down to 0, then I am actually dead. If I don't have time to recover. So you will probably see that because I probably will get knocked unconscious at some point. But yeah, that's the bigger ones. I mean, I have things like immersive armors, immersive creatures, immersive weapons, throwing weapons, those thievery overhauls, as I said, and mods, some animation mods, but nothing too grand. Almost vanilla, besides just like textures and those stuff. So yeah, so that's sort of just introducing the character. Again, in part 1 we will see Warric and it's perfect because it's becoming nighttime right now. We will see Warric attempting to break into the River Run trader and stealing a golden claw to sort of begin his thieving. And we'll see what happens. Maybe he'll get caught, maybe not. I don't know. This is me playing as a character what he would do as a character. So yeah, I will see you then. This is Patrick LPs, and I'll catch you on the other side. It's as good as a time as any. These lights will make things a little difficult, but I think I need to do this. I'll go along the back way. This trader keeps talking about his golden claw that he found. Well, perhaps he should have kept his mouth a little bit more shut. If he was smart. Then again, these small towners aren't very smart, are they? It's very bright. I'll have to be careful. Why not? Might as well get something out of this in case this doesn't go well. Come on. Damn. Doesn't look like he heard me. This lock will be tough. It is a store. But if I remember correctly, he just left the golden claw right on his counter. And the bedroom is upstairs. Damn. I need to do this quickly. Almost have it. Ah! Almost there. Damn. I only have a few of these lockpicks. Ah, got it. Shit. He has a bodyguard? Damn.
I'm warning you. Back off.
Well, that won't work. Damn it. I should have known. Of course they would have a bodyguard. Why wouldn't they have a bodyguard? They're rich traders. I could attempt to knock her out. But I would have to be sneaky. She's already seen me though. Is this really smart? Am I this desperate? Perhaps I could pretend I'm someone else. He was only frightened because I didn't know. I haven't seen him in a while. An old friend. Maybe she'll buy it. That's gonna be a no. Did she not see me? What a fool. I did it. Okay, okay. Anything else in here? Some other gold coins. Some healing. to hire a better watchman. They expecting a child? Fools. Chest. No gold. But I have my prize. Fools. I did it. I actually did it. Can't believe it. I didn't even have to kill them. But now where? I'll have to fence this. The nearest town I know is Whiterun. I can't stay in this town. When that bodyguard wakes up, she'll realize. I need to make my way through, and I need to stay unseen. Okay. As soon as I get a little away from the town, I'll set up camp. Dog this way, guard that way. He's coming this way. He's probably checking on the dog. Shh, puppy. Okay. Made it. Doesn't seem like that is a guard dog. Just someone's pet. I can't believe I'm actually getting away with this. Seems like you're better at this than what you first thought, Warric. Look at me talking to myself in the third person. I'm free. I must be careful. It is nighttime. Probably predators about. Oh. Scared me. Could have been worse, I suppose. Could have been a wolf. Or a bear. Better yet, a saber cat. Looks like there are some predators about, though. Need to find a place to set camp. It's a little bit off the beaten trail. Be fantastic. Ah, I think I see a perfect place. And there's the city. Well, don't have much light, but at least it is lighter than other nights. My first heist was a success. I ran into a little bit of a bump, but I think I got away okay.